The deep space vessel Horizon moved slowly through the darkness of space. Lieutenant Samantha Weller, or Sam as everyone called her, sat at her desk studying alien language theories. As the ship's xenolinguist, her job was to prepare for the day humans might meet aliens. Most people thought this day would never come. Sam pushed her long brown hair behind her ears and sighed. 6 months in deep space, and the most exciting thing she had done was create possible greeting messages that might never be used. The alarm blared suddenly, making Sam jump. Red lights flashed in the hallway outside her small office. She rushed to the command deck where Captain Olivia Reeves stood staring at the main screen. "What's happening?" Sam asked, trying to catch her breath. Captain Reeves pointed at the screen without looking away. "That's happening, Lieutenant." Sam turned to look. Her mouth fell open. On the screen was a massive ship, unlike anything humans had ever built. It shimmered like crystal, its surface catching the distant sunlight and breaking it into rainbow colors. The alien vessel was at least 3 times the size of the Horizon. "It just appeared at the edge of the Kuiper Belt," said Captain Reeves. Her voice was steady, but Sam could see the tension in her shoulders. No warning, no signs of approach, just appeared. "Have they made contact?" Sam asked. Her heart raced. This was what she had trained for her whole career. "Not yet," said Captain Reeves. "We've sent standard greeting packages on all frequencies." The communications officer, Liz Duncan, called out from her station. "Captain, we're receiving a transmission." The command deck fell silent. Everyone turned to look at the main screen. At first, there was nothing but static. Then, a voice came through. It didn't sound like it was speaking English, but somehow, Sam understood the words in her mind. "Send your most perceptive human. One alone. One who can feel the subtle." Captain Reeves looked around the deck. "What does that mean? Feel the subtle?" Sam stepped forward. "Captain, I think they want someone with high empathic abilities. Someone who can sense emotions and understand unspoken communication." Captain Reeves looked at Sam with new interest. "Like you, Lieutenant. Your empathic ratings were the highest in the fleet. That's why you were chosen as our xenolinguist." Sam nodded slowly. "I think they want me to go over there. Alone." The room erupted in protests. The security chief, a tough woman named Vicky Wright, shook her head firmly. "Absolutely not. We can't send one of our people into an unknown situation, with no backup." Captain Reeves held up her hand for silence. "This is first contact, people. This could be the most important moment in human history." She turned to Sam. "Are you willing to go?" Sam took a deep breath. Fear and excitement mixed in her stomach. "Yes, Captain. I'll go." An hour later, Sam sat in a small shuttle heading toward the crystal ship. She wore her formal uniform and carried only a small communication device. The closer she got to the alien vessel, the more beautiful it appeared. Its surface wasn't solid but seemed to flow like water made of light. As she approached, a section of the ship's hull simply dissolved, creating an opening. There was no communication, no instructions, but Sam understood she was being invited inside. She guided the shuttle through the opening into a vast bay that glowed with soft blue light. The moment her shuttle touched down, Sam felt a change in the air. Her instruments showed that the atmosphere in the bay had adjusted to match Earth's perfectly. She didn't need her breathing mask. Taking a deep breath, Sam opened the shuttle door and stepped onto the floor of the alien ship. It felt warm under her feet and seemed to pulse gently, as if alive. The walls around her glowed, creating a path. Sam followed it, moving deeper into the ship. The corridors formed as she walked, opening before her and closing behind her. There was no sign of the ship's crew. After walking for what felt like 10 minutes, Sam entered a large round room. The ceiling arched high above her, sparkling like a night sky filled with stars. In the center of the room, floating a few feet above the floor, was a being. The alien looked somewhat human in shape, with a head, torso, arms, and legs, but that's where the similarities ended. Its skin shimmered with colors that shifted like oil on water. Its limbs were too long and moved with a grace that no human could match. On its head, Crystal formations grew like a crown. Most striking were its eyes. It had 4 of them, 2 where human eyes would be, and 2 more set higher on its forehead. All 4 eyes focused on Sam with an intensity that made her shiver. As Sam stared, the alien lowered itself to the floor. It stood at least 7 feet tall. When it moved toward her, it seemed to float rather than walk. Sam stood her ground, though her heart pounded in her chest. The alien stopped a few feet away from her. Then, to Sam's surprise, it smiled, or at least made an expression that Sam's mind registered as a smile. The alien extended a hand toward Sam. The hand had 7 long fingers, each one tipped with what looked like a small crystal. "Human," said the alien, its voice somehow inside Sam's head rather than in her ears. "Only you may touch me." Sam looked at the extended hand, then back at the alien's 4 eyes. "Why me?" she asked. The alien's skin shifted to a deep blue color. "Because you can feel what others cannot. Because your mind is open in ways your kind rarely achieve. And because the fate of both our worlds depends on it." Sam thought about Captain Reeves and the crew of the Horizon watching through her communication device. She thought about Earth so far away. She thought about everything that could go wrong. Then she took a deep breath and reached out her hand. "I'm Lieutenant Samantha Weller," she said, "and I accept your invitation." Their fingers were about to touch when the alien spoke again. "I am Elara, last queen of the Luminari, and you, Samantha Weller, are about to change the future of 2 species." Their fingers met. A surge of energy passed between them. Sam gasped as images flooded her mind. Stars exploding, ships burning, creatures of darkness swarming across worlds. And beneath it all, a desperate hope that somehow, this connection between human and Luminari might save them both. Sam felt like her mind was on fire. The moment her fingers touched Elara's, a flood of memories that weren't her own rushed into her head. She saw strange worlds with purple skies. She saw cities made of crystal that sang in the wind. She saw the Luminari people, beautiful and peaceful, living in harmony with their living ships. Then the images turned dark. A shadow moved across the stars. Worlds burned. The Luminari fled in their great ships, always one step ahead of the darkness that hunted them. Sam pulled her hand away with a gasp. She stumbled backward, her legs weak. "What was that?" she whispered. Elara's skin changed color, becoming a soft gold. "That was the truth, Samantha Weller. My people are the last survivors of a dying civilization. We are being hunted across the stars by a species your kind would call the Vorax." Sam's mind raced to process what she had seen. The Vorax. They consume everything in their path, like locusts across the galaxy. Elara nodded. "You understand quickly. This is why you were chosen. Your mind is compatible with Luminari thought patterns. We communicate through touch telepathy. Most species cannot handle the mental connection, but you..." Her 4 eyes blinked in sequence. "You are different." Sam straightened up. She was still a Navy officer, despite the strange situation. "Why have you come to Earth, for help?" "For sanctuary," Elara said. "And yes, for alliance. The Vorax will reach your solar system within a month. They have followed our energy trail. We did not mean to bring danger to your world, but we had nowhere else to go." Sam activated her communication device. "Captain Reeves, are you receiving this?" The captain's voice came through clearly. "We're seeing and hearing everything, Lieutenant. Ask the alien if this threat can be verified." Before Sam could speak, Elara moved closer. "I can show you more if you will allow it. A deeper connection will let me share the knowledge you need." Sam hesitated, then nodded. This time, when Elara's hand touched hers, the connection was gentler. Sam saw star maps and the path of the Vorax fleet. She saw weapons and defenses. She saw the Luminari technology that might save Earth, if humans could learn to use it in time. When the connection broke, Sam turned to her communication device. "Captain, we need to prepare. The threat is real and it's coming. But the Luminari have technology that can help us." Back on the Horizon, Sam faced a room full of skeptical officers. Captain Reeves had called an emergency meeting to discuss The situation. Let me get this straight, said Vicky Wright, the security chief. These aliens show up out of nowhere, claim there's a deadly enemy following them, and want us to believe they're here to help? This sounds like the oldest trick in the book. Sam shook her head. I've seen the Vorax in Alara's memories. They're real, and they're devastating. The Luminari aren't our enemies. How can you be sure what you saw was real? Asked the ship's doctor, Beth Morgan. This touch telepathy could have planted false memories. Sam couldn't explain the certainty she felt. The bond with Alara had left something behind. A sense of the alien queen's honesty and desperation. I just know, Sam said, aware of how weak that sounded. Captain Reeves sighed. Unfortunately, I just know isn't enough for Earth Defense Command. They've ordered a quarantine of the alien vessel until we can verify the threat. Sam felt panic rising. We don't have time for quarantine. The Vorax will be here in weeks. As if on cue, the ship's alarm sounded. The communications officer's voice came over the speaker. Captain, to the bridge. We're detecting strange energy signatures at the edge of the solar system. On the bridge, they watched as the sensors showed something massive moving toward them. It wasn't a ship in any traditional sense, more like a dark web of energy stretching across space. Is that them? Captain Reeves asked Sam quietly. The Vorax? Sam nodded, her mouth dry. It's a scout. The main fleet will be close behind. Captain Reeves made a quick decision. Contact Earth Defense Command. Tell them we have visual confirmation of an approaching threat, and arrange for the alien queen to be brought aboard. We need more information. 3 hours later, Alara stood on the bridge of the horizon. Several officers reached for their weapons instinctively. The alien queen was an imposing figure, nearly 7 feet tall with her shifting skin and crystal crown. Alara raised her hands in a peaceful gesture. Then, without warning, she projected a mental image into the minds of everyone present. They saw planets being consumed by the dark web of the Vorax, stripped of resources and life in a matter of days. When the vision ended, many of the officers were pale and shaking. Captain Reeves gripped the edge of her command chair. Your weapons are ineffective against them, Alara said, her voice resonating in their minds. The Vorax adapt quickly to conventional attacks, but my people have developed technologies that can harm them. With your help, we might stand a chance. Captain Reeves looked at Sam. Lieutenant, you've had the most contact with our guest. What do you recommend? Sam took a deep breath. I recommend we form an alliance, Captain. The Luminari need our help as much as we need theirs. This isn't just their fight anymore, it's ours too. Later that night, Sam escorted Alara to guest quarters on the horizon. As they walked through the quiet corridors, Sam felt a strange pull toward the alien queen, something beyond curiosity or duty. The link between us grows stronger, Samantha Weller, Alara said suddenly, stopping in the middle of the corridor. Her skin shifted to a deep violet color. Each contact deepens the connection. Sam nodded, feeling it too. Is that normal? This kind of bond between different species? Alara's 4 eyes blinked in their unusual pattern. It is unprecedented. My people have encountered many species in our travels, but none with minds so compatible with our own. She tilted her head, studying Sam. There is something unique about you. Soon, you will understand why it had to be you. Sam wanted to ask what that meant, but they had reached the guest quarters. As Alara went inside, she turned and extended her hand one more time. Sam hesitated only briefly before taking it. This time, the connection felt like coming home after a long journey. In Alara's mind, Sam sensed not just information, but emotion, hope, fear, and something deeper that made her heart race. When they broke contact, Alara's skin glowed with warm golden light. Rest, Samantha Weller. Tomorrow we begin preparing your people for war. As Sam walked back to her own quarters, she couldn't shake the feeling that her life had changed forever. Humanity was no longer alone in the universe, and for better or worse, she was now bound to a being from beyond the stars, a queen fighting to save her people from extinction. And somewhere in the darkness of space, the Vorax approached, hungry for new worlds to devour. The alarm sounded across the lunar base. Red lights flashed in every corridor. Sam was in the middle of a training session with new neural operators when the emergency signal blared. All personnel to battle stations. This is not a drill. Repeat, this is not a drill. Sam's heart raced as she ran to the command center. There, Admiral Foster stood before a large screen showing the outer solar system. A massive dark shape was visible near the orbit of Jupiter. The Vorax have arrived, Admiral Foster said grimly. Not a scout this time, the main fleet. But it wasn't a fleet in the traditional sense. The Vorax ship was a single massive entity, nearly 1,000 miles across. It resembled a vast dark web woven from metallic strands pulsing with malevolent energy. Elara entered the command center, her skin a steely gray color that Sam had learned meant battle readiness. They have come sooner than expected. We must deploy immediately. Within hours, Earth's combined defense fleet, enhanced with luminary technology, moved to intercept the Vorax entity before it could reach the inner planets. Sam found herself aboard the flagship Defiance, stationed at a neural interface station. Through the ship's windows, she could see dozens of Earth vessels alongside the gleaming crystal ships of the Luminary. Captain Kelly Blackwood, commander of the Defiance, turned to her crew. Today we fight not just for Earth but for all sentient life in our galaxy. The Vorax have consumed too many worlds already. Ours will not be among them. She gave the order to engage, and the battle began. Earth's conventional weapons, missiles, railguns, even nuclear warheads, struck the Vorax entity but seemed to cause only minimal damage. The dark web simply absorbed the energy or reformed around the impact sites. The Luminary crystal ships moved closer, their weapon systems powering up. Sam placed her hands on the neural interface, connecting her mind to the weapons control system. She felt Elara's presence nearby, doing the same. Through the neural link, Sam could see the Vorax in a way impossible with normal vision. She could perceive the energy patterns that connected the physical structure, the flow of information that made up its hive mind. She targeted a key junction point and fired. The crystal cannon on the outside of the Defiance released a pulse of energy that struck the Vorax web. For a moment, nothing seemed to happen. Then a section of the web began to unravel, its connections disrupted. "It's working," someone shouted. Around the fleet, other neural operators fired at similar junction points. The Luminary ships moved, in perfect coordination with the human vessels, their attacks synchronized through the shared neural network. But the Vorax began to adapt. Sections of the web thickened, developing shields against the crystal energy. New tendrils extended, reaching toward the Earth fleet. Sam pushed harder through the neural interface, seeking vulnerable points. Each shot drained her physically. Halfway through the battle, she felt blood trickling from her nose and ears as the neural load intensified. Elara moved to her side, concern showing in all four of her eyes. "You must withdraw," she insisted, her colors shifting to alarmed crimson. The human brain was not designed for this level of integration. "Neither was yours," Sam replied through gritted teeth. She could see the small crystalline fractures appearing on Elara's skin, signs of her own neural strain. The tide of battle turned when the Vorax launched its counterattack, not with physical weapons, but with a psychic assault that tore through the neural defenses of many human luminary pairs. Across the fleet, operators collapsed, blood streaming from their eyes. Sam felt the attack like a spike driven into her brain, but somehow she maintained her connection to the weapons system. "We're losing too many operators," Captain Blackwood shouted. "We need to fall back and regroup." But falling back would give the Vorax time to repair and adapt further. Sam knew they might not get another chance to strike at its core. "Elara," she called out, her voice weak. "We need to combine our efforts. Target the central node together." Elara hesitated, then moved closer. "A complete neural circuit between us could work, but the strain might kill us both." Sam reached out her hand. "If we don't try, everyone dies anyway." Elara took Sam's hand, and their neural connection flared to life, stronger than ever before. Together they channeled their combined strength through the weapon system, focusing on the central mass of the Vorax entity. The crystal cannon fired, its beam brighter than any previous shot. The energy struck the heart of the Vorax web, and, for a moment, everything seemed to stop. Then the web began to collapse in on itself, its structure folding inward like a dying star. A shockwave of energy spread outward, damaging several nearby ships. "It's creating a gravitational singularity," the science officer shouted. "We need to get out of here now." Captain Blackwood ordered an immediate retreat. The Earth fleet pulled back as the Vorax entity continued to implode, drawing in matter from around it. Sam barely registered the retreat order. The strain of the neural link had pushed her beyond her limits. As darkness closed in around her vision, she felt Alara's mind still connected to hers, their thoughts intertwined even as consciousness slipped away. The last thing Sam saw before blackness took her was Alara's face above her, all four eyes filled with concern and something else, something that looked remarkably like love. 3 days passed before Sam opened her eyes again. She was in the medical bay of Lunar Base Alpha, surrounded by beeping machines. Her whole body ached and her head throbbed with each heartbeat. As her vision cleared, she noticed something strange about her hand resting on the white sheet. Her skin seemed different. There was a faint iridescence to it, with subtle patterns, that shifted with her pulse. Dr. Mia Bennett approached the bed, scanning Sam with a medical device. "Welcome back, Lieutenant. You had us worried." Sam tried to speak, but her throat was dry. After a sip of water, she managed to ask, "What happened? Did we win?" Dr. Bennett nodded. The Vorax entity was destroyed. The gravitational collapse it experienced should have created a black hole, but something happened. The collapse reversed at the last moment, creating an explosion instead. Our scientists are still trying to understand it. Sam looked at her changed skin again. "And this? What happened to me?" Dr. Bennett's expression grew serious. "A side effect of the complete neural bonding with Alara. Your DNA has been partially rewritten. You're still human, but something more as well." Fear gripped Sam's heart. "Alara, where is she? Is she alive?" Dr. Bennett gestured to the other side of the medical bay, separated by a transparent barrier. There, submerged in a tank of luminescent fluid, floated Alara. The alien queen's crystalline body was covered in fractures, but she was alive. "Neural bond between you saved her life," Dr. Bennett explained. "In fact, it's still active. It's the only thing keeping her alive while she heals." Sam tried to get out of bed, but her legs were too weak. "I need to see her." "Soon," Dr. Bennett promised. "You both need time to recover. The strain you put on your neural systems was beyond anything we've seen before." Over the next few days, as Sam regained her strength, she learned more about what had happened. The combined human luminary fleet had suffered heavy losses, but Earth was safe. The remaining Vorax scouts had fled after the destruction of their main entity. The neural bond between Sam and Alara had created something unprecedented, a partial genetic exchange. Sam's DNA now contained elements of luminary biology, giving her skin its faint iridescence and allowing her to access luminary technology without the painful side effects she had experienced before. A week after waking, Sam was finally strong enough to visit Alara. The alien queen was still submerged in the healing tank, but her eyes opened when Sam approached. Their mental connection sparked to life immediately. In her mind, Sam heard Alara's voice, weak but clear. "Samantha Weller, you saved my life. You saved both our peoples." Sam placed her hand against the glass of the tank. "We saved each other, and now we're both changed because of it." Through their connection, Sam could feel Alara's curiosity about the changes in Sam's biology and her concern about what it might mean for her future among humans. "I don't regret it," Sam said firmly, answering the unspoken question. "Whatever I've become, whatever lies ahead, I don't regret choosing to bond with you." Alara's colors shifted to a warm gold despite her injured state. "When I am healed, we will face the future together. There is much to rebuild, and much to learn about what we have become." Sam nodded, a strange peace settling over her despite the uncertainty ahead. Earth had survived its first contact with hostile alien life, but in the process, something new had been created, a bridge between two species that might change the course of both their futures forever. Earth's military leaders gathered in the main conference room at Space Command headquarters. The room buzzed with tension as Admiral Diane Foster paced at the front, her gray uniform crisp and perfect. On the large screen behind her was an image of the Luminari ship, its crystal surface gleaming. "I don't like this one bit," Admiral Foster said. "We're supposed to just trust these aliens? Form an alliance based on the word of one lieutenant?" Sam sat quietly at the table, feeling the weight of everyone's stares. Beside her, Captain Reeves spoke up. "Lieutenant Weller's account has been verified by multiple crew members who experienced the mental projection from the alien queen. The threat is real, Admiral." Admiral Foster frowned. "Mental projection. That's another thing that concerns me. These aliens can put thoughts in our heads. How do we know they're not manipulating us?" Before Captain Reeves could answer, the door opened. 2 security officers entered, followed by Alara. The alien queen had to duck to enter the room. Her skin today was a calm blue, and she wore a simple robe made of material that seemed to flow like water. The room fell silent as Alara moved to the front. Sam noticed how the military leaders shifted in their seats, some leaning away, others leaning forward in fascination. "Thank you for allowing me to speak," Alara said. Her voice still bypassed their ears, appearing directly in their minds. "I understand your caution. In your position, I would feel the same." She raised her 7-fingered hand and a 3-dimensional star map appeared above the table. Sam recognized it from their mental connection, a map showing the path of the Vorax fleet across the galaxy. "The Vorax have destroyed 17 civilizations that we know of," Alara continued. "They are not conquerors. They are consumers. They strip planets of all resources, including organic life, which they process for energy." The star map zoomed in on Earth's solar system, showing a dark mass approaching from the outer edges. "This is their advanced scout. The main fleet will arrive within 3 weeks. Your weapons, nuclear, kinetic, even your most advanced energy weapons, will have minimal effect. The Vorax adapt quickly." Admiral Foster crossed her arms. "And I suppose your people have weapons that work against them?" Alara nodded. "We have developed technologies that disrupt their collective consciousness. The Vorax operate as a hive mind. If the connection is broken, they become vulnerable." "So what do you need from us?" asked General Kate Harmon, the head of Earth's ground forces. "Operators," Alara said simply. "Our weapons require a neural link to function. My people are few, and our neural patterns are compatible with only a small percentage of humans." Her 4 eyes turned to Sam. "Lieutenant Weller is one such human. There will be others." Admiral Foster looked at Sam with new interest. "You've used these weapons, Lieutenant?" Sam shook her head. "Not yet, Admiral, but I've seen them in Alara's memories." After hours of discussion, Earth's leaders reluctantly agreed to an alliance. They had little choice. The Vorax scout ship had already destroyed an unmanned research station near Neptune, proving the threat was real. The next day, Sam reported to a newly established joint human Luminari base on the Moon. There, she would begin training with Luminari technology. Alara met her in a large dome-shaped room. The walls were lined with crystal formations that pulsed with light. "These are neural interfaces," Alara explained, gesturing to the crystals. "They allow your mind to connect with our technology. Today we will see how well you can adapt to them." Sam approached one of the crystal formations. It was beautiful, catching the light in ways that created rainbow patterns on the floor. "What do I do?" she asked. "Touch it," Alara said. "Open your mind. Let it in." Sam took a deep breath and placed her hand on the crystal. Immediately she felt a connection form, similar to her bond with Alara, but different. This was less personal, more focused. Information flowed into her mind about the crystal's function. It was a weapon system, designed to disrupt the Vorax neural network. Sam gasped as images of the weapon in action filled her mind. She could see how it worked, how it sent out pulses that scrambled the Vorax connection to their hive mind. When she pulled her hand away, Sam staggered backward. Her head pounded and she felt blood trickling from her nose. Alara caught her before she fell. You did well for a first attempt. The neural load is significant. It will take time for your mind to adjust. Over the next week, Sam trained daily with the Luminary technology. Each session left her exhausted, often with headaches and nosebleeds, but she was making progress. She could now operate the basic functions of the crystal weapons and the Luminary communication systems. Other humans with compatible neural patterns were brought to the moon base. There were only a few dozen out of all of Earth's military forces. Sam helped train them, guiding them through the initial shock of the neural connection. During a rare break, Sam sat in the observation lounge, looking out at Earth hanging in the black sky. Lieutenant Commander Grace Martinez, the Horizon's chief science officer, joined her. How are you holding up? Grace asked, handing Sam a cup of coffee. Sam took the cup gratefully. I'm tired. The neural training takes a lot out of me. Grace looked around to make sure they were alone. Sam, don't you think the timing of all this is too convenient? The Luminary arrived just before this supposed enemy. What if they're manipulating us? Sam sighed. She had heard these concerns before. I've been inside Alara's mind, Grace. I've felt her fear, her desperation. The Vorax are real and they're coming. Grace didn't look convinced. Just be careful. Your connection with the alien queen seems to be affecting your judgment. Sam couldn't deny that her feelings for Alara had grown complicated. The neural bond made it impossible to hide emotions, and she had sensed Alara's feelings changing too. The queen's skin turned warm gold and pink whenever Sam entered a room. Colors that Sam now understood represented affection in Luminary biology. That evening, Alara took Sam to a part of the Luminary ship she hadn't seen before. They walked, through corridors that seemed to form around them, until they reached a sealed chamber. What I am about to show you only a handful of my people have seen, Alara said softly. It is our most guarded secret. The door dissolved, revealing a room bathed in gentle blue light. In the center, floating in a pool of liquid light, were several crystal formations, each about the size of a football glowing with internal energy. Our future, Alara said, her voice filled with emotion. The last Luminary eggs. Our species reproduces rarely. These are the first viable offspring in generations. Sam stared at the floating crystals, understanding the trust Alara was showing by revealing this. They're beautiful. Alara's lower eyes fixed on Sam while her upper eyes gazed at the eggs. They will need protection and guidance from both our kinds. Both our kinds? Sam asked, surprised. Alara's skin shifted to a deep purple. The neural compatibility between us is not coincidence, Samantha Weller. There is a reason why you specifically can connect with me and our technology. She gestured to the eggs. These young ones will be born into a new world, one where Luminary and humans exist together. They will need to understand both species. Sam felt the weight of Alara's words. This wasn't just about fighting the Vorax. It was about the future of two species, possibly intertwined in ways no one had imagined. I'll help protect them, Sam promised. Whatever happens with the Vorax, these eggs will be safe. Alara reached out and touched Sam's face gently. The connection between them opened, but this time it wasn't memories or information that flowed. It was pure emotion, gratitude, hope, and something deeper that made Sam's heart race. As they stood there, surrounded by the soft glow of new life, Sam realized she was no longer just fighting for Earth. She was fighting for a future where humans and Luminary might find a new path together among the stars. 2 months after the battle with the Vorax, Earth was still celebrating its narrow victory. News channels played footage of the battle on repeat. Children played with toys modeled after the Luminary crystal ships, and everywhere people talked about the future of human-Luminary relations. Sam stood in front of the mirror in her quarters at Lunar Base Alpha, studying her reflection. The changes to her body had become more pronounced as time passed. Her skin now had a definite iridescent quality, with patterns that shifted with her emotions. Not as dramatic as Alara's, but noticeable. Her eyes had changed too, developing faint gold flecks that seemed to glow in dim light. A soft chime at her door pulled her attention away from the mirror. "Come in," she called. Dr. Mia Bennett entered, carrying a medical tablet. "Good morning. Lieutenant, how are you feeling today?" Sam smiled. "Better. The headaches are almost gone." Dr. Bennett nodded and began her usual scans. "Your neural patterns have stabilized. The luminary DNA has fully integrated with your own." She looked up from her tablet with a serious expression. "You should know that these changes are permanent, Sam. There's no going back to what you were before." "I know," Sam said quietly. "I made my choice when I linked with Alara to defeat the Vorax." After Dr. Bennett left, Sam made her way to the medical bay where Alara had spent the past 2 months healing. The Queen's injuries had been severe. The neural strain had caused fractures throughout her crystalline body. But today was special. Today, Alara would finally leave the healing tank. When Sam entered the medical bay, a team of doctors and scientists were gathered around the large tank. Inside, Alara floated in the luminescent fluid, her eyes closed. The fractures in her body had mostly healed, leaving only faint lines like scars. Dr. Bennett approached Sam. "We're ready to begin. Since your neural link with Alara is still active, we'd like you to help guide her through the awakening process." Sam nodded and moved to the side of the tank. She placed her hand against the glass and reached out with her mind, feeling for the familiar presence of Alara. The connection came easily now after months of practice. Sam could sense Alara's consciousness still and peaceful in the healing sleep. "Alara," she called mentally. "It's time to wake up. Your body has healed. We're waiting for you." Slowly, Alara's 4 eyes opened. She looked around, taking in the room full of people, then focused on Sam. Through their link, Sam felt the Queen's recognition and relief. The medical team began draining the healing fluid from the tank. As the liquid level dropped, Alara remained floating, using the luminary ability to control her own gravity. When the tank was empty, the front panel dissolved, and Alara glided forward to stand on the floor. Sam gasped softly. Alara had changed, too. Patches of human-like skin now appeared among her crystalline surfaces, a physical manifestation of their unprecedented bond. The crystal crown that grew from her skull had developed new patterns, more intricate than before. "Samantha Weller," Alara said, her voice once again resonating directly in Sam's mind. "It is good to see you with all 4 of my eyes." Sam stepped forward, drawn by the pull of their connection. "How do you feel?" "Different," Alara admitted. "Changed, as you are changed." She raised her hand, and Sam noticed that the Queen now had 6 fingers instead of 7, another sign of their mutual transformation. Over the next few weeks, Sam and Alara worked together to build understanding between humans and Luminari. The remaining Luminari ships had settled into orbit around Earth's moon, and talks were underway about establishing a permanent Luminari colony on Mars. One key issue remained: the future of the Luminari eggs. Earth's leaders were concerned about what the new generation of Luminari might become, especially given the genetic exchange that had occurred between Sam and Alara. Admiral Foster called a special meeting to discuss the matter. "We need to understand what these hybrid changes mean for both our species," she said, looking at Sam and Alara. "Lieutenant Weller is now part Luminari. The alien queen is showing human characteristics. What does this mean for the eggs? What will they become when they hatch?" Alara stepped forward, her colors shifting to a calm blue. "The changes in Samantha and myself are unique to us, a result of our specific neural bond during extreme stress. The eggs carry pure Luminari genetics, but they will be born into a new world," Sam added. "A world where humans and Luminari live side by side. They will learn from both our cultures." After much debate, Earth's leaders agreed to relocate the Luminari eggs to a secure facility beneath the lunar surface. Sam and Alara would oversee their development together, serving as a bridge between the 2 species. That evening, Sam and Alara stood on the observation deck of Lunar Base Alpha, looking out at the Earth hanging in the black sky. "It's beautiful," Alara said, her colors shifting to match the blue and green of the planet below. "My people have traveled to many worlds, but none quite like this one," Sam nodded. "Earth is special, worth fighting for, As are its people, Alara added, turning to look at Sam. Through their neural link, Sam could feel the depth of Alara's feelings, gratitude, respect, and a growing affection that transcended species. There will be more of them out there, Sam said quietly. The Vorax couldn't be the only predatory species in the galaxy. No, Alara agreed, her colors shifting to a determined amber. But next time, we will be ready. She extended her six-fingered hand. Sam took it without hesitation. The neural connection blossomed once more, but it was different now, smoother, more natural. In their shared consciousness, Sam could see possibilities stretching out before them. Humans and Luminari working together to explore the stars, to build defenses against future threats, to create something new and wonderful from their combined knowledge. What will happen to us? Sam asked through the link. These changes in our bodies, in our minds, where will they lead? Ailara's response came not in words, but in images. The two of them standing watch over the developing Luminari eggs, teaching the young ones when they hatched, exploring the stars in ships built with combined human and Luminari technology, facing whatever dangers the universe held, together. A future unwritten, Alara said aloud, her voice soft in Sam's mind. Unbounded by the limitations of our separate pasts. As they stood there, hands linked and minds connected, Sam realized that she had found her place in the universe. Not fully human anymore, but not Luminari either. Something new, a bridge between worlds. The next day, Sam and Alara moved into the new lunar facility that would house the Luminari eggs. The chamber had been designed with input from both species, crystal growth pods modified with human technology to monitor and protect the developing life inside. As they arranged the eggs in their new home, Sam felt a sudden pulse through her. Neural link with Alara, a feeling of joy so intense it took her breath away. "What is it?" she asked. Alara pointed to one of the eggs, which had begun to glow more brightly than the others. "It responds to our presence, to our combined essence." Her colors shifted rapidly, showing her excitement. This has never happened before. The eggs usually remain dormant until much later in their development cycle. Sam reached out tentatively and placed her hand on the glowing egg. Through her touch, she could sense something inside. Not thoughts exactly, but a presence, a potential consciousness reaching out to connect. "It's beautiful," she whispered. Alara placed her hand next to Sam's on the egg. "This is just the beginning, Samantha Weller, the first of many miracles to come." Later, as they worked on plans for Earth's new defensive systems, a message arrived from Admiral Foster. Earth's governments had made a decision. Sam and Alara would be appointed as official ambassadors between their species, with authority to make decisions regarding the integration of human and Luminari technology and culture. "They're putting a lot of trust in us," Sam said, reading the message. "As they should," Alara replied. "We have proven what can be accomplished when our kinds work together." That night they stood again on the observation deck, but this time they looked not at Earth, but at the stars beyond. "My people have a saying," Alara said softly. "The universe provides what is needed when it is needed most." Sam smiled. "On Earth, some people say everything happens for a reason." "Perhaps they do," Alara agreed. She turned to face Sam fully, all four eyes focused intently. "When I first reached out to your ship, I did not know what would happen. I only knew that something in your mind called to mine across the void between us." "And now?" Sam asked. Alara's skin shifted to a warm, golden pink, the color of deep affection in Luminari biology. "Now I know that the universe brought us together for many reasons. Some we have discovered, others we have yet to learn." She extended her hand once more, and as their fingers intertwined, the neural connection opened between them, full of shared hopes and dreams for the future. "Human," Alara said with a smile that was becoming more natural with practice. "It seems, you may touch me whenever you wish." Sam laughed, feeling lighter than she had in months. "And you may touch me, Queen of the Luminari. Together we'll build something new among the stars."